You are on India Today podcasts and you are in the Sledging Room.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Sledging Room podcast. So this is officially the IPL month. Right now, we are just, I think, 14 days away from the next season of IPL. It's buzzing. And SRH have sounded the bugle. They have named a new captain, a World Cup winning captain.
Again.
Australian Pat Cummins is going to lead SRH in the place of Aiden Markram in this IPL. It's going to be a great festival, IPL, as we all know. And in this week also, we have seen a lot more things have happened. We can see what happened with BCCI contract. Ishan, Kishan, Shreyas snub. Our own squad for the fifth test was announced, or we can say it was just that a few players were cut short and a few players were brought in. Like Bumrah came in for the last test. I don't know why Bumrah came in, but he has come back. We have won the series. He could have rested. But before we move on to all these things, we need to talk about this particular move of SRH. Again, an Australian captain. You remove Aiden Markram, make Pat Cummins the captain. Was it sure and certain that SRH will make Pat Cummins their captain after they shelled out 20 crore rupees for the Australian captain? Kingshuk and Ronak, over to you.
Kingshuk should take this.
I would definitely take this. I mean, if you're shelling 20.5 crore for a player, making him the most expensive player at that point of time, if you remember that auction, Pat Cummins became the first player to breach the 20 crore mark, and then later Mitchell Starc did it. So once you shell that much money for a player, it is kind of obvious that you need him to play all 14 matches in the group stage. And if he's playing that and he's a World Cup winning captain, then may as well give him the position. But is that the right call? That is something I think we should discuss.
Absolutely. I mean, Pat Cummins, definitely he's a world beater in Test and ODIs, Ronak. But T20Is, he's not even leading the Australian side.
And he doesn't even want to lead Australia in T20Is.
That is the most important part. He wants to manage his workload. He does not want to lead Australia in the T20Is. But SRH have taken that punt. Because last time when they won the IPL, it was an Australian captain who led them to the title. Can Pat Cummins do it, Ronak? What do you think?
First of all, I feel they massively overpaid for Cummins. It was like a World Cup wave that they got swept in. World Cup had just ended. 1 month after the World Cup, they were like, Pat Cummins, paid 20 crore for Pat Cummins. And now, 2-time SA20 winning captain Aiden Markram has been pushed off to the side. So, again, I mean, signing Pat Cummins is a good call. He's a good player, but 20 crores, I feel, is a lot for him. Again, removing a decently, he hasn't been that successful with SRH, I would agree.
Just one season.
Just one season, but a very bad season. They came last season. And, but I still feel it was like a move that didn't really make a lot of sense. But if you have a Pat Cummins in your team, then he has to be the captain, I feel.
It's a classic chop and change thing, right?
It's like just connecting the two dots. If you have him, then he will be captain, but it wasn't really necessary to get him in the first place.
And one can always argue that Pat Cummins' most expendable format is the T20I format or the T20 format. He's not, people say that he's not a finished product in the T20 side of things. When will he be? After he retires. Pat Cummins understands that as well. But the problem that I have with SRH doing this thing is that they have dug a grave for themselves. A bowler who has not been successful in the IPL for 3, 4, 5, however many seasons that he has played now, you have made sure that he will play 14 matches, because if he is dropped midway through the tournament again, that is one more scandal that you are answerable to.
For sure.
I mean, if you look at this SRH unit, there are so many good overseas players. Who to play, who to drop. You got a Travis Head.
And similar kinds also.
Yes, that is the most important part. I mean, Travis Head, he was superb in that World Cup. And now he's coming back to play in India. Will he play, or will you have an Aiden Markram who was leading the team last season, but now he finds himself on the sidelines? What is SRH team trying to do, the management?
It almost feels like that SRH are trying to push Markram out, doesn't it?
It looks like it.
Because next season, it's the big auction.
Yes, absolutely.
And you drop him as a captain right before that.
Yeah.
What does that? What is the message that gets sent to him? your sister franchise's captain, two-time SA20
Title-winning captain.
title-winning captain,
Yeah.
two-time winner.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, before the mega auction, you say, hey, listen, brother, there might not be a place for you this season in the team. It's just weird, man.
And I mean, going forward to the next season as well, when the teams just have to retain players, I don't think Markram will get retained at all. So, like you're saying, ki they're trying to push him out. They sort of laid the platform right now that Markram will not be at SRH come IPL 25.
Yeah, that's the early prediction. Yeah.
So if I ask you, Kingshuk, you are a hardcore SRH fan, die-hard SRH fan, and SRH has always done something or other thing that makes you feel ashamed of what is this franchise up to. Come on.
Angry.
Shame.
Because I remember when the IPL auction happened in this very staging room, Akshay asked him. Akshay is absent right now because he's gone to Chennai.
Yeah.
He was traumatized by that Bazball defeat that he had to go to Chennai and just take it out. So Akshay asked Kingshuk, okay, Pat Cummins, they have bought him, he will become the captain. Kingshuk is like, no chance. You have got Aiden Markram. Why will you need a Pat Cummins? And now you see what has happened, Kingshuk.
This is one of the... Okay, so I'm... Like, India Today did break the news that Pat Cummins...
You broke the news for India Today.
So the person that I spoke to, the people that I spoke to, said that they have ridden on the wave. There's nothing apart from that.
Yeah.
Because Pat Cummins does not have those T20I credentials as
Not
a
at all.
captain or as a
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
But they are saying that it is impossible to ignore whatever he's done by this point of time.
Where?
Throughout the 2023 season.
Where? In which format?
Exactly. In ICC Test Championship final or ICC ODI World Cup final, they are saying that Cummins' leadership has the unique ability to win you title. I just don't buy into
by
that.
this
yaar.
logic, you should have picked Marnus Lavushin also, yeah.
That
Then
is the
he
whole
played
point.
well in Test Championship, also scored a
And
50 in the
Pat
final
Cummins
also.
himself has come out and said that T20I is a format where he does not want to take that leadership
Yeah.
responsibility and
Role on
workload.
himself. Yeah.
Because he wants to enjoy his game in T20Is. Now, will he enjoy his game when he is the captain of the team? He has the burden to take the team to the semi-final because last season they were underwhelming. Too much happening,
And
right?
then also do well ahead of the T20 World Cup, because
Yeah.
this is the last chance for any of these players to prepare going into the World Cup. And if he goes into the World Cup in bad form, that is just, it's like a double whammy, double negative effect.
And also my problem with the whole decision is that so SRH have had a leadership crisis in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
From David Warner to Kane Williamson to Aiden Markram, now to Pat Cummins.
Yeah.
If you want to steady a ship, you don't change its captain every season.
Yeah.
And that's happened for the last 4 seasons in SRH.
Yeah.
I don't think that this settles the whole team together. And I think that this is possibly one of the worst captaincy calls taken in the recent history of Indian Premier League.
So do you think it is just because of the pressure of the price tag that they've made him captain?
Yes.
Not even more than him winning the World Cup and the WTC final? Or do you think it is that or the money?
I think it's just the superstition that if Pat Cummins is the captain, your team will eventually do well.
Okay, so the purple patch ride has taken up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, when you talk about SRH, they were known to be a bowling heavy side. I mean, this time, this IPL, the players they bought in and the kind of structure it's coming out, the squad, it looks like a batting heavy unit, right?
The funny thing about that is that, yes, on paper, the squad is quite batting heavy,
Yeah.
but you will never be able to fit those together. I just checked out so I made a playing 11 for the sake of it.
For the sake of it, we should
Yeah.
emphasize on that.
Yeah, because if you play Markram, you cannot play Travis Head. Your other, amongst your other 3 overseas players, you have Klaassen fixed in your team, Janssen or Hasaranga,
Yeah.
who are not full batters.
Yeah.
Then you have to have Pat Cummins, who is again a 30% batter and a 70% bowler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, on paper, your overseas options are great. Aiden Markram, Travis Head, Heinrich Klaassen, Glenn Phillips, Marco Janssen, Hasaranga, Cummins, but you won't fit them in your team at
You
once.
won't fit half of them in the team. Yeah.
That is the problem.
Like a Glenn Phillips, a Vanindu Hasaranga, and a Marco Janssen would walk into most IPL sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of them will play. Like if any of these guys have to play, none of these 3 will play.
I thought at the time of the auction that Janssen and Cummins would be the change-up. They will be options at that time. When SRH were going for the player, Once they went to 20.5 crores, I realized that, okay, Janssen's story is almost closed now
Yeah.
because they won't be interchangeables anymore. But again, look at what Janssen has done throughout the SA20 campaign this time around. In the finals, I think he had 4 wickets.
Yeah.
He had several big 50s throughout the tournament. Now, if you bench him all of a sudden, what does that do to him as a player?
I feel with this Janssen situation in particular, judging a fast bowler's performance in South African conditions compared to Indian conditions is not fair.
Okay, fair game.
So if he's picked up 4 wickets in the SA20
Then
final,
what do you judge Cummins on?
That is what-
that is a completely different.
That is what we are discussing. I mean, Pat Cummins, yes, he won the ODI World Cup. Yes, he won a WTC Championship also. And yes, he has been performing for Australia in these two formats. But IPL is not a test league. IPL is not an ODI league. It's a T20 league. So you need players to lead your side who have actually performed outstandingly well in the T20I format. SRH opted a different route. They went to that Jyotishi Marg where
Yeah. It is a very
okay,
Jyotishi mark.
the player has a purple patch. Let's buy him for whatever money we can buy. Make him the captain. Let's take that punt. It might pay off, and most likely it will not. But what if it pays off?
Yeah.
I think that is what SRH
And because
have done.
he is capable of, especially he scored the fastest 50 in the IPL. So he is, I think, which got broken last season or something like that. But he is sort of capable of that. But it's just that we get to see it like once in 5
Absolutely,
years.
that is the biggest
so-
problem. I mean, 150, one that kind of performance in last 5-6 years from
Yeah.
Pat Cummins with the bat, not with the ball.
bat, yeah.
If SRH reach mid-table this season, let's say 5-6, I am very happy.
No, man.
We
you should
would-
have higher expectations with this squad, dude. Like, seriously. Like, I'm
No,
a Punjab fan, okay? Like, we are down in the trenches. We are aiming for mid-table. You should aim for better, man. Seriously.
By the way, before we began this podcast, we all three were talking that we are bottom dwellers. I'm a Delhi Capitals fan. This lad, Ronak, he is a Punjab Kings fan, and Kingshuk Kusari, as we all know, it's well known, he's an SRH die-hard fan. So we all know what it takes when your team
Yeah,
fails.
yeah.
We have not won any title in last 4-5 years.
Last placed, second last placed, third last placed.
Never won a title.
Okay, so it was about Pat Cummins and all. Let's get to the big drama. What on earth in the Indian
Yeah.
cricket? What happened to Shreyas, Iyer, and Ishan Kishan?
Yeah.
To give context to the listeners and the viewers, Shreyas Iyer and Ishan Kishan, they were excluded from BCCI's central contact list, and it is being said that it was done because both of these players did not take part in any domestic cricket, despite BCCI Secretary Jai Shah and Indian coach Rahul Dravid's assertion that you have to play domestic cricket if you want to make a comeback.
Yeah.
These two players, they were excluded, and there was so much drama about these players being excluded, and Hardik Pandya, who has not played any form of international game for India since that Bangladesh group clash in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But people are asking questions of BCCI. Some are very, very happy that BCCI has issued finally prioritized domestic cricket, and they have issued a diktat where players can't ignore domestic cricket. But then some are questioning why different rules for different players. What do you think, Kingshuk? Was it right from BCCI to hand over this hammering to Shreyas Iyer and Ishan Kishan, not giving them this contract? After what Shreyas Iyer did in the World Cup, over 500 runs at number 4 position, created innumerable records, was a very good player for India.
So BCCI's qualm is not with Shreyas Iyer performing or not performing in India colours. BCCI's qualm is that you don't go back to Ranji Trophy when you have a free schedule or you are injury free, but you are perfectly fine while training during the IPL season or preparing for the IPL season. So that's a qualm. I am not with the BCCI on this. I'm not with the players on this. I just think that it's a monumental failure of a employee and an employer. BCCI employs Shreyas Iyer and Ishan Kishan, and it has certain expectations of those two players.
Yeah.
What are the expectations here? After you're done with your international schedule, go back to Ranji. You play there. That helps bring up the level of the Ranji trophy as well.
Yeah.
As well as keeps you in the fray of red ball cricket or white
Gets
ball
more
cricket.
eyes on Ranji as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, what Ishan Kishan is saying, that allegedly saying that
Allegedly saying, that is the most important part.
that you carried me throughout the 2023 season. You dropped me from series randomly.
Yeah.
When I thought that I was going to play the South Africa Test series because I had been keeping and batting so well, you bring in KL Rahul, a part-time wicketkeeper, in the Test squad and threw me out of it.
Yeah.
How does that work out? Fine. I am irritated and I am pissed off. I am going to leave now. I'm going to take a leave of absence from the Indian team. Here rises two questions. Does it matter what he does in the leave of absence?
It should not.
For BCCI?
It should not matter.
It should not matter.
If you ask me.
And till what point of time does it not matter? Because at the end of the day, you are contracted to me.
Yes.
And you are answerable to me.
Yeah, because it's not like a indefinite leave of absence.
Exactly.
Na? Yeah.
Exactly. So when your coach comes out and says 3-4 times that to come into the Indian team, you have to play some sort of domestic cricket.
Yeah.
You completely ignore that advice. So you're not prioritizing the Indian team as well now. That's when the call comes from BCCI.
Yeah.
Listen, brother, we are dropping you from the contract. So I think both the board and the players are at fault at this.
Yeah.
And it's a monumental failure of diplomacy between the top brass of the board and the players' management.
I would slightly differ in this. I agree that it's like a thing between the board, the employee, and the employer where it's like a miscommunication thing, sort of, to some extent. But I think with Kishan, it still makes a bit of sense because, like you said, a certain amount of leave of absence. After that, what is he actually doing? He's not participating in any of these tournaments, even when Dravid asked him again and again, not directly, but sort of dropping hints. But with Iyer, I feel he did play the second test, I believe, against
he played
England.
the second test.
And
He
then
was left out of the squad for the
then
third
he was
test.
left out for the squad. Then he went to the NCA, and the NCA said that he's fit to perform in Ranji, but he felt that he's not fit enough. So it is just over that his contract has been cancelled. If we are being fair,
The distrust between the player and the board.
that the BCCI thought that the NCA has given him a clearance, but he still isn't playing. So
But
they
then
got
the same applies for KL Rahul.
Yeah, they got ticked off by that. I feel they got ticked off by that. But is it fair though? Because I just read Gavaskar's comments today, where he again bashed the BCCI saying ki okay, the NCA has cleared him, but a player himself knows best if if his body is in the best shape to play or not. The trainer might say that you're fine.
Yeah.
None of the muscles are in nothing is damaged, but yourself might not be feeling at your 100% to go and play a Ranji game and risk the IPL coming after that, the T20 World Cup coming out. If he picks up an injury playing in the quarterfinal, then who is to blame for that? Will he ever make a comeback? Will he ever get to play another T20 World Cup? If he misses out on this T20 World Cup over something that he still feels that he's not fully fit. So in that, I think there should be a little wiggle room, both from the BCCI and the player. It's not like he's been totally unabashedly, out of favor that I'm not going to do anything. He's played the first 2 test matches. He got injured and then he's gone to the NCA to recover. And then uske baad bhi, I think there should be some leeway, at least for Shreyas Iyer. I feel there is a little bit of they pushed it a bit too much with the year.
And it is very interesting that they have done with 2 middle order players as
Yeah.
well, where there are a lot of options right now.
Exactly.
But they did not do it
That
with
is what I
Hardik
wanted to
Pandya.
come. Yeah, I wanted to come there.
So I think somebody went and told whispered it to the BCCI top brass that there are a few players here and there who think that they are becoming quite a big brand. And listen, let's just clip their wings a little bit. I'm not going to reveal who spoke to me, but somebody from the domestic cricket arena
Achha.
told me that with the Indian team, the communication has not been clear. None of the players are being told as to why they're being picked up or why they're being dropped from the Indian side. Now, my question once again is that you are failing to communicate your demands with these Indian players.
Yeah.
And the Indian players have failed in that too.
Hmm.
My problem is when you think it is okay to clip 3-4 players and then completely be in some Buddha-like
Yeah.
wonk space with Hardik Pandya or let's say KL Rahul.
Isn't that the definition of,
Hypocrisy.
or just
No,
covering
but
your
Hardik
tracks
Pandya,
by
if
doing...
you're saying Hardik Pandya has himself come out and said that he does not want to play Test cricket. He has said that he will not play first class cricket. BCCI agreed to it.
So there is Liste also apart from first class, by the way.
So he's playing Shahid Mustaq Ali. No, sorry,
no.
he was playing DY Patil tournament.
DY Patil
DY
he's
Patil
played
is
now.
playing.
Last 4 years, go have a look where he has played in Liste cricket.
No.
Nowhere.
Absolutely. Then I agree with that because you know what I feel. I personally feel Ishan Kishan needed this hammering. I feel Ishan Kishan needed this, but Shreyas Iyer, he was a bit hard done. He should have been given that leeway.
The timing went wrong with Shreyas Iyer, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer, he was with the team management. He played the first two test match. He could not perform up to his potential or your demands. Then you dropped him from the third test, and then okay, if he does not play a Ranji match, how does it matter? He has played every form of cricket he could even when he was fit for you. He played the Asia Cup when he came back from injury. He played the World Cup. He performed for you.
Third highest Indian scorer.
Third highest
after
Indian
Kohli.
scorer.
It is once again about the
then-
distrust. I think BCCI is telling, like you mentioned, that he has played whatever format of cricket he was given when he was fit.
Yeah,
He's been unfit for a long time, and now BCCI is right now questioning, are you really unfit, Shreyas?
Yeah.
Or you're just making this excuse for something or
Yeah.
the other?
no. By that logic, you should also question Hardik Pandya
You should.
because Hardik Pandya has a cycle. He is fit for IPL.
And
He'll play-
and also,
KL Rahul
also BCCI, I think last year made it mandatory, 2023, that whoever gets injured now has to directly report it to the NCA
Yes.
and get a clarification from there. This happened because of Hardik Pandya, because he was training under Mumbai medical staff
Yes.
when he was injured.
And with KL Rahul also. I mean, what happened with him? For the first two tests, he was not picked in the squad. It was said, media reports said that he was almost there, 90% fit.
Wait, which tests? Okay.
After the first two tests against England.
Yes.
90,
Yes.
he was
Second
90,
and third test.
He was second test.
Second test.
After the first and second test,
Huh.
it was said that he is 90% fit. He's almost there.
Yeah.
And then from being 90% fit to he's unfit. He's in England. Somebody is assessing his injury. He's with the BCCI medical
Wait,
officials.
KL Rahul is in England?
Yeah, you don't know this.
No.
It was said in the last press release by BCCI
Oh,
when they
God.
made the
Again.
new changes for the squad to fifth test. By
So
the way,
that just adds on the point that, trainers can say that you're unfit one day
yeah,
or you're 90% fit on one day and 2 days later you can't play 3 test matches in a row, man.
yeah. By the way, BCCI have made some chopping and changing in the squad for the fifth test. I don't know why they did it. Bumrah has come back. Good for Indian team. But we did not need Bumrah to beat England. Come on.
Yeah, we've already won the series.
Yeah, we already won the series.
I would just like to point out another thing. This whole Mistress thing and then Ishan Kishan being with the team for the whole year, feeling that he deserves to play, not getting a chance, this also reflects very poorly on Rahul Dravid. It is his team. He knows he should know at least how to manage players. And I completely agree, Kishan was just fielding for the whole year. One whole year, he was almost in every squad.
Yeah.
He was just the 12th man. So, and he's a young player who you think can be a good prospect for India in the coming years. So, you should nurture him in that way also, na? You can't be like, okay, you're the 12th man. If you don't play, we won't give you the central contract.
So if you see Ishan Kishan started 2023, I think, the World Cup year with a double century, ODI double century. Supposedly the fastest ODI double century.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
2022
Okay.
December, I think he
Yeah.
played against Bangladesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then when you go into that World Cup, you pick the squad, he's your first choice wicketkeeper.
Ishan Kishan got dropped for 2 matches right after scoring the double century, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly. And then he is among 3 players who failed to perform in that Australia game, first game. He's dropped straight after that game.
Yeah, because Shubman was going to come back, na?
Shubman was going to come back and you made KL Rahul the wicketkeeper. So Ishan Kishan did not play any game after that.
Yeah.
And by the way, Ishan Kishan and Hardik Pandya were the players who pulled you out of misery when you were taken apart by that Pakistan bowlers
team.
in the first Asia Cup game, which got washed out.
Yeah.
Both of them
Yeah.
played memorial knocks to pull you out of the trouble. And then this happens with Ishan Kishan. I don't think he is in the reckoning for the T20 World Cup. Do you players
I don't think
believe?
So. I don't think so.
I mean,
Because
they've said-
whatever has happened.
What if he has a monumental IPL season, 550 runs, 13
Do you think
catches?
550 runs gets you in the team, in the Indian team?
Not anymore.
Not anymore,
Okay,
yeah. Not
700 plus. 700 plus.
700 plus.
Okay.
So KL Rahul is coming back.
I don't think so.
in the
I don't
squad.
think so. 500 runs and Ishan Kishan goes to T20 World Cup. Not at all.
that will depend on how Rishabh Pant plays in this IPL.
No. Rishabh Pant is anyway not in the reckoning for the T20 World
You-
Cup.
you
He
might
has
say
not
this.
played enough cricket.
You might say this.
But listen to me, like Sanju Samson and Jitesh Sharma are there as wicket-keeping choices for the Indian team.
Along with KL.
Along with maybe KL Rahul, we will see he will not keep in the IPL.
Still ahead of Ishan, I would say, in the pecking order. I think.
KL, no.
I
KL,
think.
come on, no.
I think. In the T20 World
I
Cup,
don't
after
think
what has happened
You
now,
know, KL, if the Indian team management is as,
Is KL also 90% fit to play IPL?
I think he's
Who
100%
knows?
fit to play for LSG. Because we know what KL has done in the past. He is always fit for IPL. Last season, what happened was he got injured after the first or second match.
yeah,
And then he got ruled out of the entire IPL. And for the next 6-7 months,
yeah.
he made a comeback in the Asia Cup. But this time, he is fit for IPL. LSG would want him to play.
I doubt. I think T20 World Cup squad selection is a bit far away. But
Yeah,
I still think that Samson and Jitesh are the first two candidates that India will think of, unless a monumental Ishan Kishan season. And if Ishan Kishan goes to Rahul Dravid personally and apologizes,
That would be
that-
interesting thing to
that
see
would be
if
an
that
interesting
happens. But before we move on to T20 World Cup, we have got one more test to play against England's Bazballers,
Yeah.
yes,
who have failed miserably in this series. And out of all people, I am the one who takes so much relaxation and enjoyment when I see Bazball fail.
yeah.
But this test is more about two men, a Johnny Bairstow and an R. Ashwin. Two different cricketers from two different countries.
Yeah.
Both are going to play their 100th test match in Dharamshala, if weather permits.
If
If
weather permits.
yeah.
And
Or-
it has been a different journey for both these players. Johnny Bairstow has had a very tough childhood. As we all know, his father killed himself because of some depression issues. His mother fought cancer twice to come back, and then she raised him. And what a fighter he is. He always comes back and scores those runs. Whereas an R. Ashwin,
I actually think that their journeys are quite similar, cricketing journeys.
cricketing journeys, I'm talking about the entire journey.
Yeah.
R. Ashwin, a maestro, a man who was said to be an white ball spinner, an IPL spinner when he played for CSK, when he came and played for Dhoni's CSK. And then he took to test cricket as duck takes to water. What a bowler. Over 500 test wickets, great servant of Indian cricket.
Yeah.
And he showed us what he's capable of in the last test. Everybody was questioning what is Ashwin doing, what is Ashwin doing. Shoaib Bashir is picking wickets, and you could see an Ashwin coming and pick up a 5-wicket haul.
Yeah, I don't think any foreign batter has ever feared an Indian bowler in India as much as they fear Ashwin. Because everybody who just comes in, be it the Australians, be it the Englishmen, all they are worried about is how are we going to deal with Ashwin. So, I mean, I don't know if we can say the same about Johnny Bairstow, but yeah.
But that is something that I like about both these men. Like both, obviously, 100th test match is a massive occasion,
Massive milestone.
right? And with both Bairstow and Ashwin, their red ball credentials were questioned again and again and again and again.
Yes.
Johnny Bairstow, because he was in line with the generational wicket-keeping and batting talent, Joss Butler.
Yeah.
And once Joss Butler went out of the way, Ben Foakes came in and took that place. So he was always that. He himself feels that he's always that third choice guy in that particular department. But having said that, 100th test match is a massive occasion. Same with Ashwin.
Yeah.
First called a white ball spinner, then reinvented himself again and again and again, started picking wickets in home. And I think the best thing about these two men is that they love proving people wrong. And even at the latter stages of their career, they're still proving people wrong. Ashwin did not play the 2023 World Test Championship final because obviously India thought that he was not fitting in the squad enough to
For the
in those
for the
conditions
final
also.
in
against
those conditions.
Australia. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will be very happy if both do well in the test match.
Yeah. I am hoping for Bairstow to come into form, dude. We need him for PPKs.
Okay.
So for King's sake, for Punjab King's sake, whatever I might say about Bazball in England, I like Johnny Bairstow, the fighter, the way he fights, and I want him to score those runs.
Yeah.
Not because of IPL, not because of Punjab Kings. I want Johnny Bairstow to celebrate his 100 test. What a journey he has had.
Yeah.
And in this Bazball era, he has been one of their best batters. How can you forget that knock which he played against India when they chased down 300 plus target? He and Joe Root. They
Birmingham
took down
2022.
Birmingham 22.
Yeah.
I can't forget that.
Shouldn't get him angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I think
Johnny
he-
Bairstow has only failed because Virat Kohli is not there. right?
Yeah.
So-
Nobody is missing Virat Kohli more than Johnny Bairstow.
So
in
Johnny
this
Bairstow
series.
needs Virat Kohli to rile
Yeah.
him up so that he
Yeah.
can go and score those runs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So he might go and give a Virat a call. Oh, Virat, please come and play this test match. Or at least be in that field for me. Just be for one day when I'm batting. Just
Yeah.
rile me up. Do something.
Yeah.
And R. Ashwin, he's going to play, if weather permits, both these gentlemen, both these true marvels of game are going to complete 100 tests. And Johnny Bairstow, as King Shuk before the podcast told me, he will become the first English player to play 100 ODIs, 100 T20Is, and 100.
That is down the line. So he's played 70 T20Is
Oh,
right now.
That is also
He
not
will
happening.
become the first player
If he-
eventually
Okay.
to reach that.
So that is a long time ahead because
Yeah,
30 T20Is,
Uh,
even if you play the entire T20 World Cup, I think you'll play 7-8 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it will take a lot of time to get to
Yeah.
that mark.
definitely.
But
And a lot of good form also.
do you really think, can England make a comeback in the fifth test and make it 3-2? Finally.
I think weather will be a big
Because
part.
all we have seen in the build-up to the test match, the Dharamshala weather,
Hmm.
it's proper English weather. A bit too much cold than English weather also, but it is English weather and clouds are there. Would Anderson love it?
Finally,
Would he be
can he
eyeing that-
actually finally get to that 700 mark now? Man, we've been waiting the
Oh.
whole series for this.
How much does he have?
2 more wickets.
He needs 2 or 3 more wickets
two more wickets. he needs.
to get to that 700 test wicket.
Day one morning spell.
That's his only chance.
Yeah.
Because then if the rain comes down and the match is gone, then,
So, what would be your team composition for that test match? India and England both. Dharamshala, a fast bowler's paradise, as they say.
I think for India, they'll just make one change only. They'll bring in Bumrah and push out Akashdeep from the
Okay, so
side.
you're saying we'll go with 2 pacers only.
Yeah, same.
We will not go
lineup.
with 3 pacers.
No, who will you bring in? Who is there to bring in?
Bumrah, Akashdeep and Siraj. Ask Kuldeep to rest. Why will you
yeah,
drop
if you have
Akashdeep?
Ashwin Jadeja.
Why will you drop Akashdeep after what
Akashdeep,
he has done?
Akashdeep was very
Because-
good in the
Yeah,
both tests.
Because what my line of thinking was that the Dharamsala track in the World Cup was not a fast bowler's paradise. It was a
Oh.
much slower track. It would do well in the first 8-9 overs,
Hmm.
but after that it slows down gradually. Because I remember watching the South Africa
Oh, yes, you
game
were
there,
there.
and it was just spinners taking wickets because the track had slowed down so much.
Hmm.
So if the track remains same, then I think spinners will also get help there. And if I am correct, the last test match played in Dharamsala was in 2017,
Yeah.
where again spinners took down the entire batting lineup.
I think Kuldeep took a 5-wicket haul.
something like that.
Rahane
I
was the
don't
captain.
exactly remember, but
Against Australia, it happened, I think.
yeah, something
India
like
was
that.
Australia.
And with I think if the series is we know that the series is done, I would rather see Akashdeep play than Siraj, to be frank.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, give Akashdeep a chance. He's not going to play in the other formats anyways. So,
But
and
we need to remember that this is WTC points table and test match wins
that's
would
true.
actually matter later
No,
on.
you played without Bumrah. You won the test match. Why not play without Siraj and win a test match?
And I mean, Siraj hasn't done anything in the series, to be frank.
Yeah.
What has he
Apart
done?
from
He just gave you that Yorker barrage.
Oh, yeah, okay. The
can't
last
take
test
that
match,
away.
yeah,
Come
last
on,
test
Ronak.
match he was.
Come on.
I mean,
yeah.
Ronak being a
Fair,
Punjabi
fair,
fans
fair,
has
fair,
got
fair.
this IPL memorandum, and
definitely.
he's hating
Nothing else
RCB.
matters.
Yeah,
Nothing else matters.
RCB Pacers. You
Bring
can't play.
Arshdeep Singh.
Bring Arshdeep Singh, yeah. seriously.
So, you are saying India should go with 2 pacers and 3 spinners.
But actually, your call makes sense. Like drop Kuldeep and play Bumrah in place of him.
What about you, Ronak? Who will you play? Indian team.
I think I would play Bumrah and Akashdeep with 3 spinners.
And what about the English team? They brought in Ollie Robinson with so much hope. Man scored a 50, but could not do jack with the ball.
Yeah, they're pretty furious about it. aren't
Yeah,
they?
everybody is bashing. Nobody is bashing Bazball, English cricket. They are bashing Ollie Robinson. Oh man, you could have performed. You did not perform.
Because Ollie Robinson did Bazball. He just could not take the wickets.
And he did not even bowl in the second innings, if I'm not
yeah,
wrong.
they did
Yeah,
not
he
let
didn't
him bowl.
bowl.
Yeah, no.
Because he was of no good use in the first innings itself. He was conceding runs, not picking wickets.
I think there are questions about his fitness as well.
But he batted pretty well.
Yeah, he batted pretty well, and I don't know if I remember it correctly that he tweaked his back
I
during
think
batting.
that is what they're saying.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember it, but that
They
is what
haven't played Atkinson also, no?
No,
In the
Atkinson has
series
not.
at
I
all.
would love to see Gus
Yeah.
Atkinson.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
Dhamsala.
you brought Gus Atkinson. He's not going to play the IPL also. They have pulled him out of IPL also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not play him for one test at least?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely could.
Because I don't think England are also going to play any form of international cricket before the T20 World Cup.
Is Mark Wood still there with the team?
I think he's there. He's there.
Then definitely please
So,
bring in Mark Wood.
Yeah,
Anderson, Mark Wood,
for
and
sure.
Gus Atkinson. Three
Yeah.
pacers.
Yeah.
Who will drop?
Rehan.
Rehan is not in the side.
Oh,
He's
wait, he went home.
Oh, come on, Kingshuk.
Oh, Shoaib.
You will drop
Shoaib
Bashir,
or
man who
Hardley.
picked 5-wicket haul in the last test.
Yeah. Because again, if the conditions don't help, Joe Root and one more spinner is fine enough. And I think Hartley is a much better batter than Bashir.
But
So-
will they actually drop Bashir for Atkinson?
They should take this punt.
I mean, if they take a lot of punts, they might as well take this punt also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with English team, you can't say anything. There's so much hype, and there are so much moral victories as they claim
Yeah.
after every series.
Yeah,
They drew a home.
Yeah.
the things that they have said in this series is a little weird. There is Ben Duckett coming on and saying that we should get a little bit of credit though for the way Yashasvi
That was the
Jaiswal
worst of
plays.
it all.
That's the worst comment that you can make. My God.
Why will you say that? And how does it happen?
And actually, you know what?
yeah,
Somebody in the
yeah.
last podcast video commented in the YouTube upload
Hmm.
that Ben Duckett should really shut up because he does not know what he's saying. What the person's arguing?
Yeah.
I have the name.
So
of
a
the
lot
person.
of readers have actually taken their time out, listened to and viewed our podcast, and they have commented. So you'd like to read some of them. Kingshuk, come on.
Yeah. So, firstly, thanks for listening to our podcast and thank you. What can I say? Venkata Subramaniam Lalgudi has said that Ben Duckett going on and on about this attacking approach does not make sense. He says in the comment that, have you ever heard of Don Bradman? He has scored 300 in a single day of a test match. So he was clearly not defending every
But
single ball.
Ben Duckett might come out and say, I was not born back then. How can I know about Don Bradman?
No, Ben Duckett will say it's because of us that Don
Yeah.
Bradman
Oh,
played that
yeah.
way. We had some
Don
time
Bradman
jumping
knew.
going on.
Yeah, he knew
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
were going to
yeah,
bring in
yeah.
Bazball.
We went back in time
Yeah.
and told Bradman that
Brother,
let's
that is
do
how you
this.
play.
So yeah, anyway, some brilliant observations there in his comment also, and he does say that he finds Sledging Room quite interesting.
Thank you so
So-
much for that.
Good for Saurav and Akshay, who are the regulars in this podcast. And Akshay, if you're listening to us from your home, then great job. Nathan6498
Oh,
has
what-
actually
what is-
criticized the Sledging Room,
Okay.
saying that you guys are taking. Oh, it's actually a criticism for you.
Okay.
He's saying that you take India side too much. They reach semi-finals of every tournament, and after that they are gone. So, if you have any reply for Nathan,
Nathan.
6894.
For that, you should watch and follow our podcast when India fail. You see how we bash them. We are unapologetically bashing when India fail. And we are fans. We applaud them when they win. It's as simple as that. We don't take sides. We state what is there.
All right, so we have time for taking one more comment.
Yeah.
David Drayman says that Saurav Kumar has a cult following. Ooh! Saurav has a cult now. He's saying that he resonates with his views. Saurav is a great analyst.
Thank you
Right
so
now.
much. Thank you so much for that comment. It means a lot to me.
So bask in the glory of these LED lights.
Yes.
What can I say? So yeah, let's continue on, I guess.
Okay. So before we just go to our next podcast and all, I would like to ask both of you. IPL is just 14 days away. A lot of buzz is being created. SRH have changed their captain.
Mumbai Indians have changed their
Mumbai
captain.
Indians have changed their captain, and Hardik Pandya is
KKR captain has been dropped from a contract. It's going to be the season of captains.
and Delhi Capitals captain has not played competitive cricket for last 1.5 years.
Who is Delhi Capitals?
Rishabh
captain?
Pant,
Not David Warner.
DC co-owner Par Jindal came out in public and said Rishabh Pant is going to lead us. He's not going to keep the wickets in the first half.
You know what will happen? By
Yeah.
the end of the season, Mitchell Marsh will be your captain.
That might happen, and for that, for HRS also that might happen. Pat Cummins 5-match injury. Oh, I can't play. I have to play T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
Please, Markram, take over.
Shut.
Markram is like, yeah, please. I was waiting for this opportunity. Anyways, I was in my hotel room.
All this slander you will give us, and we will finish higher than you. Just
We
saying.
we will see. We will see. we are sitting here. We'll see what happens in the IPL.
We'll see.
But before that, we
I'll
have a
see eye
test
to
match
eye
too.
when we during the
Absolutely,
IPL
eye
match.
to eye and everywhere. We'll see. Because before that we have a test match to follow where we can
Yes.
see England getting hammered again or England making a comeback. What is your prediction? Final prediction before we move on.
I'm gonna go left of the field and say England will give a good competition and they'll win the final test match.
Okay, so you are saying 3-2.
3-2, yes.
I think it's going to be a draw. I think rain will play a part and it'll be a draw.
Yeah, if rain does not play a part, India are going to hammer Bazball again
For
and
one.
kill whatever is remaining of Bazball. So you can send in your feedback on 8588896696. You could also email on pods@indiatoday.com. And you could also join India Today podcast WhatsApp channel and get updates on the latest episodes. Do watching India Today. And we love reading your YouTube comments. Please keep on coming them. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You are on India Today podcasts and you are in the sledging room.